Greetings, family. Welcome to the Power of Tranquility. I am Arlene Kahet, and I teach people how to have harmonious relationships, also being able to speak their own truth. So, tonight I'm going to talk about a thought that's been really running through my mind for a number of days now, which is that there's really no long-term profit in your healing. So recently, I had the experience of being approached by some people who wanted to sell me their services in regards to, providing some type of spiritual guidance. And one of the things that I can say was that I really, I'm really at a point in my life where I have a great deal of contentment with where I am and how things are going and how things are progressing in my experience. So those people reaching out to me was not necessarily what I needed nor wanted. And I very kindly declined their offers for assistance. But one of the things that tends to happen is when a person is in a place of being in a place of healing, there is a level of self-sufficiency with a person who is healed in comparison to someone who is not, someone who is always searching. And it would really be in a place of really being of a good idea for a person to start facilitating their healing in whatever area that they may be experiencing, whether or not it is emotional, psychological, physical, whatever, wherever that their healing needs to take place. And the thing is that when you address those issues that have been in a place of continuing to plague you, once you've addressed that issue, you don't need anybody coming in to, you know, help you rearrange anything or fix anything because it's already taken care of. And only you can be the person that actually does that for yourself. So why am I bringing this up? Well, the thing is that as I gave that thought, after I had my experience, what I really thought is that, you know, for the long range goal, one of the things that sort of drives a society is profit. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there is more profit to be made off of a person's pain in comparison to being made off of their healing. See, because once the people who help you heal, then you may not necessarily have a need for them anymore. And you can move forward with whatever it is that you plan to do with your experience. But with your pain, just look at the world. So instead of being in a place of, especially here in the States, when you think of what is being done with the food, with engineering of the food, or what is being done um, with the schools and how things are happening with the schools, in terms of education and in terms of having therapy for people, in terms of whatever the case may be, there is profit being made at almost every aspect of your experience. And the more pain that you're in, the more people profit from it. So if you do not have a meal plan that is well suited for you, and if you're not eating well, who ends up benefiting from that? The medical community ends up benefiting from that. Also, possibly being in a place where you would end up getting, if you develop diabetes or some type of illness, you would end up, possibly experiencing end-stage renal failure, but also the pharmaceuticals benefit off of that. And then you end up transitioning earlier than you probably would have if you had had a healthier meal plan. In terms of emotional disturbances or in things that you may be going on with emotionally, if you do not address the pain that you are in, who ends up profiting from that? Like, say, for instance, of people who are in a relationship, they're not in a place of necessarily understanding what it is that's driving them in terms of the conflicts in their relationship. And one of the things that I can see is that I think that, some of the television shows that we see, there is a part of us that's voyeuristic that kind of feeds off of the drama, feeds off of the drama, and it's not fictional. And then, people, advertisers and things of that nature, television shows, they're really, really enforcing this dramatic discord that is taking place with the people who are there. And we're having this experience of seeing people have issues with being able to get along with each other. And a lot of money is made from profiting off of that difficulty, profiting off of that pain. People not necessarily being able to get along with each other, or not necessarily being able to emotionally navigate how it is that they're experiencing, and they end up lashing out, quite possibly committing a crime. And then they end up into the penal system. And then once they get locked into that system, the individual, they're made money off of the labor that they get off of the penal system. So there is no profit in your healing. But the thing is that you have to decide for yourself that you are taking a different stance, that you are making your healing your priority. And that also goes for harmonious relationships. When you're in a harmonious relationship, you don't have to be in a place of being necessarily on a TV show or on the 6 o'clock news, where somebody has gotten into a conflict, they end up getting shot. And these various organizations benefit off of whatever the outcome of that drama is. It doesn't have to be that way. You can decide something different for yourself. You can decide and advocate for your healing. Anyway, that is it for this evening. May peace and power be with you wherever you go. Blessings, family.